All right, so it's been a while since we've talked about this food plot and the plans for it and what's going on with it. Hope everybody had a great turkey season. I was able to get a couple birds. My best turkey season yet. Today we are talking about the food plot in the front yard. It took a long time for it to grow. If you don't remember, you can go back and watch the videos, or I'll give a little brief breakdown on what I did. February, I decided to frost seed some clover into this food plot that's about 80 yards from my front door. I'll put up a picture of the buck that I'm going after right about there. This food plot is for that deer. I frost seeded this food plot. I sprayed it, burned what I could, sprayed it again, and I just couldn't get all the grasses to die. I went ahead and seeded anyway. Right away, some clover did pop up. We started getting temperatures into the 50s and 60s, but it just wouldn't come up everywhere. And we didn't have a particularly wet spring. I mean, it wasn't a drought by any means, like springs in the past where it's just 2 or 3 days you can count on a substantial rainfall. We just didn't seem to have. Maybe we did, maybe I'm just remembering it wrong, but anyway, it got into late spring and we had drought-like conditions for pretty much the whole month of May. What anyone else would do in this situation, I acquired 400 foot of hose and ran hose from my house to the food plot. You can see it. It's coming up right here. I don't know if, yeah, right there. And got a sprinkler that you can see right there. And for the past 2-3 weeks, I've been running that sprinkler almost around the clock. Thankfully, in the last few days, we've had some substantial rainfall and some storms forecasted for the next couple days. But this is the food plot as it stands right now in early June. I had plans to let the clover establish, put a bunch of good nitrogen into the ground, and then till it or spray it and kill it and release all that nitrogen into a fall food plot like with brassicas or something along those lines. But after the trouble of getting this clover to grow, I'm contemplating just leaving it in clover and just rolling the dice and hoping that's good enough. Because what I'm doing, I'm not trying to feed the deer herd here. I'm just trying to attract one deer. If other deer come in and benefit from it, great. But I'm trying to attract one deer and one deer only. So if this clover does that, great. I don't really want to go changing the structure of what's in here because said deer, I believe, has returned. I've got some trail camera pictures, some pretty large bucks in velvet. And like I said, it's only June, so they're only going to get bigger. I'll do some panning around and show you what it looks like now. It's not complete and it's not perfect, but if we keep moisture over here, I think it'll be pretty good. So that is my house, the white open area and trees. In the trees you can see. So there was already a natural path there and a natural path there, I guess, from when they excavated this or whatever. So I wanted those to have some food value. So I went ahead and planted those into clover. And then this was nothing but leaves like you see back there. So I raked all the leaves and planted this into clover as well. The problem is these trees just shade out all of this area so it doesn't get a whole lot of sunlight. And when it does rain, it doesn't really permeate this soil all too well. If you follow that trail, it goes into the open area. For those of you who watched that turkey hunting video where we got the bees, this is that beehive. Doing really well from what I hear from my brother. I don't know anything about bees. Apparently they're doing well, so that's them. There you go. And then that other trail continuing out that way. Right here in these patches look dead, and for the most part there is clover growing in it. Like right here, it's just a bare patch. I've thrown I don't know how much seed in this area. It just will not grow. But right here, this spot that looks bare and dead, if you get in close, here, like there's clover coming up, and this is fresh in the last week or so. Probably honestly 4 days or so that this broke surface. So in a couple weeks it should look like the rest of it here, and you wouldn't notice anything different. All this here, same story. Underneath these limbs You can almost see like a distinct line right here of good growing and new, and that's kind of coincides with the tree, the limb cover. This was the initial seeding. This I had to come back and just pepper with clover seed just to get it to attempt to grow, and it's finally coming up. So what I'm planning on doing in today's video, so I've got a bag of plot screen from Frigid Forage that is a blend of sorghums, and it grows 8 to 12 foot tall. Since this is somewhat of a residential area, I'm gonna plant that on what borders of this plot I can, just to make them feel like they're content and safe. So what I'm gonna do in this video is around the border plant that sorghum mixture, and it'll be, I mean, I'm a tall guy, 6'3", 6'4". I mean, it's gonna be taller than this in some spots. And I'm gonna run it on most of the borders. I'm gonna leave some key entry and exit areas open. Let me show you the bag of seed, just so if anybody wants to do this on their property. And I have used this before and it works really well. So Frigid Forage plot screen, grows up to 12 feet tall. It sounds gimmicky, but it does work. If I can find a picture, I will throw one up, let's say right there. Throw up a picture here of the previous plot screen I had planted over on the farm that we hunt on. I'd say most of it was in 8 to 10 foot tall. I'm gonna set the camera up, plant what little bit of this I think we need. All right, let's get to spreading. All right, so that's all the planning for today. I ran a strip here to about there, left an opening for that trail for any deer coming from this side. Ran it across to there, stopped it, started it again right here, ran it all the way around to there, stopped it for that opening, started it there, went all the way across. As usual, I'll make an update if anything changes or happens with it, if it starts growing. As wet as it is right now and as quick as this stuff grows, we should have visible germination within 5 or 6 days. So y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you updated on that, and thanks for watching.